I think this is a kid who's going to get some looks at the next level. He's going to be a player who's going to play himself into a good situation this year. I have a good feeling about that.
7-7 in the last minute of the first quarter. Herrera approaches it and boots it right down the middle of the field. And it is off of the fingertips of Grigsby. He has to go back to pick it inside of the 10, and he goes down. A special teams tackle by Bro Van Briesen and put Central in a precarious position. Grigsby mistimed his jump, and you saw he had to go back and get it. Couldn't just let it roll. And then, wow, opening night, we have had some hit stickers already.
The young freshman put back there in primetime duty on opening night. Just made a little mistake. He'll learn from that one, but you say precarious situation, Gary. They've got about a yard better field position, or maybe 2 yards worse field position than they did last time, went down and scored.
They scored on their opening drive of the season, 13 plays, 87 yards. Miguel Hart from 5. Bellevue West answered. A couple of personal foul penalties. And then Anderson to Whaley. Late getting on the field is Livingston as Newsom turns and hands it off to Haney. And here goes Haney. Oh, my! Haney's still on his feet. He runs over a T-Bird, and he's out to the 34, and that is not precarious. That's impressive. That's 26 yards.
Oh, boy. Kylon Haney delivering the absolute thunder right here. Look at this. Oh, mark that one down in your book. Taylor Peterson just got run over.
Played as a freshman last year. Now it is his turn. And the clock runs, and that is the end of the first quarter. What a great start to our season. And what a great start to the 24 season. We're knotted at 7. Come back for the second quarter after this. It's game time on Your View, presented by Iowa Western. Most picturesque setting in high school sports in the state of Nebraska. Siemens Stadium, downtown Omaha, on the campus of Omaha Central. And Haney this time is corralled after about a yard. As Bellevue West was able to string that play out. Dylan Miller led the charge. So Haney now 8 carries, 68 yards. This is from the first quarter. The Nebraska offer, only a sophomore.
He's been running tough, and his offensive line has given him plenty of holes to run through. He's done a little bit on his own, running through tackles, and that nice cutback on that first drive was pretty.
2nd down and 8. And the pass is completed to Livingston. He sidestepped a defender, and he goes for another 10. That's a pickup all the way out to the 46-yard line. So just a turn and a dump off, a little pitch and catch from Newsom to Livingston, and it is a first down for Central.
Yeah, Peterson got there in a hurry on the little bubble screen. but did not break down in front. He was looking for a knockout hit. Didn't make the solid tackle. Livingston was able to sidestep and pick up the first down.
First Friday night of the season. Last night, weather was in the area. A couple of games were delayed. Lincoln East Elkhorn South was actually moved to this afternoon in Lincoln. But the defending two-time state champions of Class A, Omaha West Side, off to a good start. Won 22-7 against Omaha North, who we'll see next week. And Newsom completes the pass to Grigsby. And Grigsby will be just short of the first down. That's a pickup of 8. B.J. Newsom, in his third year as a starter, his throwing ability has gotten a lot better. And you see here, nice touch on the ball to Grigsby.
Yeah, Yasir Grigsby. Hey, here at Central, does the Grigsby name mean anything to you?
Courtney, Deontay, on and on and on. Now they're in the line of that family. As they turn, they hand it off to Haney, and Haney running up the middle over the right side. Cracks inside of the 40 for a pickup of 4.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with Haney's first step. Like, it looks like the defensive line has got penetration, but his burst and get off is so good that he just eats up that distance. You can't tackle him in the backfield.
7-7 just on the way here in the second quarter. Omaha Central last year 4-5, did not make the playoffs. Bellevue West, which was a perennial contender, turned into one of the premier programs in Class A. They went 7-4, knocked out by the eventual state champion Omaha Westside Warriors, and a great job by Haney. Boy, he danced across, found a seam, and is able to muscle his way for 8. Boy, he's got that one jump cut, John, that we see a lot of the great running backs that we see on Friday nights. Very few have that. He has that look, and that's something he developed. Last year, I think he just tried to run people over.
Yeah, he was much more of a straight line runner last year, and I liked him last year. But the improvement from what we saw from him as a freshman to now him being a sophomore is marked. I mean, he looks like a prime-time, big-time back that absolutely deserves that Nebraska offer that he got.
This drive for Central, just like their touchdown drive on the opening drive of the year for the Eagles, began deep in their territory. Snap back to Newsom, and now he's got to run. If he gets outside, this could be trouble, and he does. Inside of the 20, sidestep the defender from behind. He got knocked down, but that pushed him forward as Kennedy came to find him. As Newsom, with the dancing shoes on, that is a pickup of 19 yards.
And that's a new part of his game as well. You've seen, like we talked in pregame with his coaches, and he's grown into his body a little bit. Slimmed down, more solid, and look at that. The foot speed is there. We didn't see that a lot from him last year. This is a little new wrinkle to this Central offense that could be pretty explosive.
Going against this Bellevue West defense, which returns 4 starters from last year. They turn and they hand it off to Mumphrey, but there was a whistle and a flag before the snap. That'll push Central back.
Yeah, this is going to be a false start on Omaha Central.
Ken Holm, referee. Both of these teams, there's Terrence Mackey in his second year as the head coach. That familiar backpack that he wears during the games. Heavily involved in the community. His daytime job, he's gang specialist with the Omaha Police Department. Has been integrated into the Omaha Boys and Girls Club in North Omaha. So a lot of people know Coach Mackey. So after the 5-yard penalty and a carry of 3 yards for Cord Whitcomb, who is a junior.
I don't even know how he slipped through that little crack there, Gary. It looked like Bellevue West had that thing bottled up, and he just kind of wiggled and shook and got skinny through the hole and made it a positive gain out of what looked like it was about to be nothing.
2nd and 12 here. Do you take a shot through the air?
Haven't really had a lot of downfield passing just yet. It's been a lot of perimeter stuff, throws to the flats.
Pittman and Liggins are in. Play action. Newsom rolling. Got room in front of him. Out of the backfield. Got it to Ackerman. Touchdown. They ran that kind of play to the left side back in the first quarter. This time they run to the right side, and it's a touchdown from 14 yards out.
Yeah, those 2 tight ends are the 2 defensive ends that I talked about earlier, Ackerman and Wayne. Each one has a catch, and now Ackerman's catch is for a touchdown to give Central the lead back. Look, it's a little, he fakes the block, then peels off the backside, and then makes Caprice Keith wish he hadn't gone in for that tackle.
We had both Wayne and Ackerman running free. You have to respect the legs of Newsome. That arm got him a touchdown. And the right foot of Schrader through the uprights. And it's 14-7 in favor of Central. And another long drive by the Eagles culminates in B.J. Newsome's first touchdown pass of the season to Isaac Ackerman on Game Time. The pageantry of a Friday night of Game Time football here on Your View. And a good turnout by the student section at Omaha Central, one of the larger high schools in the state of Nebraska. And a good start for their football team. Another long drive, 9 plays, 92 yards. A touchdown pass from Newsome to Ackerman has put the Eagles up 14-7. And Green is not able to go anywhere. Gets back to the 20-yard line. Here comes Will Anderson, who last time out threw a touchdown pass to T.J. Whaley.
We haven't seen a shot from Bellevue West yet either. I didn't think that we would see a lot of that early on, just because of the youth of this offense, the new faces. That's what we're used to seeing, right, is the huge plays from Bellevue West. That's why I had the key. Just keep this thing on the tracks. You don't have to have these lightning strike touchdowns. They had a great drive last time out.
Anderson, little shovel pass, and Lewis finds a seam in the defense, and that's a pickup of 8. That is Mike Huffman early going into his bag of variety. They've really been hurt by injuries the last couple of years, but he's pretty honest. He said they have to get back to, if you go back to their 2019 team, boy, that offensive line just ate people up, and they were physical, and they hurt you. And you felt it on Saturday morning, but they were able to run the ball along with their passing game. He wants them to get back to that. Great respect for how physical Westside has been the last couple of years. It resulted in state championships, and this little toss to the outside, it's a first down. So found Adrian Wilson, the 6'3" junior. They'll move the sticks out to the 33-yard line. You know, you look at Westside and Millard South have an abundance of skilled guys.
Certainly.
But what they have really been known for, if you watch them play, is how physical they are on both sides of the ball. Westside, a two-time defending champ, won their 21st in a row last night. They're 60-5 over the last 65.
Unbelievable.
Millard South, which has some of the best pass catchers assembled that we've seen in Class A football, they are number 1, and they are playing in Arizona tonight at Chandler Basha. There's a little bit of a change this year. A couple of schools. Prep this weekend is down in Missouri. They're allowed to go and play out of state, so
playing one of the really good high schools in the St. Louis area in DeSmet.
Yeah, Millard North, Omaha Creighton Prep, and Millard South tonight will take advantage of that. Anderson's pass is behind the intended wide receiver. I think there's a little miscommunication because on the slant, Wilson was there, but the pass was off the mark. There were a couple of wide receivers in the area.
He had what he wanted, and Wilson just didn't quite get his head around quick enough. If he's looking earlier, he might be able to go up and get that ball, but as you said, just not quite on the same page.
Last year, Anderson did play, backing up Danny Kalin for 255 yards and 3 scores. 3rd down and 7. Quick out, and Green, I think, knew that Lorendon was coming and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure which receiver this was intended for, though, because you had two of them running little sit-downs out there.
Great point, John. I think Green thought that the pass was intended for Wilson.
He was turning around to block, and it might have been him that Will Anderson was throwing the ball to.
So on this drive, a couple of moments of miscommunication. Now Will Anderson will have to punt the ball away. 14-7 in favor of Central. Rugby style, the quarterback and the punter. And this is a really good punt off the right foot of Anderson. And they will mark it down at the 26-yard line. That is a 38-yard punt from Will Anderson. He'll go over to the sidelines and talk to his head coach, and they'll diagnose what happened on that series. Down 14-7. We're going to look at Kylon Haney. Carried 10 times for 80 yards. The two scores by Central, John, they have been long drives. 13 plays, 87 yards, and the last one, 9 plays, 92 yards.
10 yards a play will get you points most times.
And Central's offense was really good last year. They were undisciplined. There would be some penalty moments that would hurt them, and especially in those close games that John alluded to, that kept them out of the postseason. They turn and hand a little misdirection for Haney in the backfield. And he's out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it's a little power look there. The center and right guard get a double team on the nose. Gives Haney a nice look at the linebacker.
And unfortunately, down on the field being attended to, one of the better defensive players on this roster, veteran defensive lineman, Stanley Hayter. And that's a good sign, and I will say it from this standpoint, it's cramps.
Yeah.
And so the weather here in the Omaha area in the month of August has, I guess I would say, mild. It has not been back-to-back days of 90 and 100 degrees. It has been warm this week, but this is the game that we see a lot of cramping issues. So that is what right now they are attending to with Stanley Hayter. You see the Central student section. School has been in session for a couple of weeks. Now they get the opening Friday night. There were no week 0 games because of Nebraska's schedule in Lincoln at Memorial Stadium in November. The state championships are what appears on my body clock a little bit later.
Yeah.
They're the last week of November. So usually this would be week 2 for us. Instead, it's our opener. As Hayter is up, it'll be assisted to the sideline, trying to walk that cramp off. Stanley, we've all been there. And that is just, until you get it taken care of and you get a little pickle juice or whatever they will do, man, we all feel it. That's a great sign, though, that he is walking off the field under his own power, because he is a really, really good defensive football player here in the Omaha Metro.
Something has to happen right here for this Bellevue West defense. They've got to figure out a way to stop the run. This was what Mike Huffman said this week was the big key for them. They had to get the running game stopped before it got started, because he felt like once Kylon Haney got downhill, he was going to be really tough to stop. And we have seen that play out exactly as predicted by the Bellevue West head coach. They've got to do something a little different to get around this big offensive line, shoot some gaps, and get in the backfield.
Central, which returns most of the team, but last year was 4-5. They're up 14-7. 2nd down and 5. Haney bounces off a defender and cuts it to the outside, and then he fumbles, but it'll go out of bounds. He got it popped from behind, but it went out of bounds. As Haney was trying to get some extra yardage, they'll mark it at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, a good tackle by Peterson coming back into the play. He gets bounced off right here, comes back around, and then look at this. Just chops at the ball as he comes from behind. Good awareness, good play. Unfortunate for that T-Bird defense that they weren't able to recover the fumble.
Omaha Central didn't like something in the alignment. They take a timeout. They will as well. 14-7. Central leads Bellevue West on game time. Central up by a touchdown. 2 long touchdown drives. Now they're on the 43-yard line. Haney 11 carries, 92 yards. He is on the bench on this play. Pump fake by Newsom. He's chased out of the pocket. B.J. Newsom on the run. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's out to midfield. He's short of a first down, but that's the growth of a third-year starter. Instead of trying to force something, he just takes what's given to him. And the left side of the field was open, and Newsom with a nice 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, they were trying to set up a double move with Pittman at the top of the formation. It wasn't there, so as you say, took what he was given, made a positive gain instead of trying to force something up against one of the state's best DBs. What Bellevue West is doing right now, they are moving Caprice Keith around, so he is locked up one-on-one wherever Torrey Pittman goes. That's the matchup at the bottom of the screen.
Whitcomb, he danced too long in the backfield. They closed the club, and by then Bellevue West had come in, and Terrell Fields was there to make the tackle. That'd be 3rd down and 4, and I think Whitcomb wanted to do a jump cut to his right, and then nope, that's not there. Nope, and then Fields is there. And that's the end of that play. So this is a big down here because at midfield, 3rd down and 4, 14-7 game. They're in the second quarter. Central has converted a couple of those long touchdown drives. They converted some key 3rd downs. Newsom's got 3 wide receivers top of your screen. He looks that way on the slant, makes the pass and the catch, and then on to the run, and downfield, and bouncing off a defender at the 5, sidestep dive to the end zone, and he's out at the 1-yard line. J.B. Livingston on the slant. Newsom hit him on the run, and Livingston is all the way down to the 1-yard line. That's a 50-yard reception.
Well, this is what all the running does. It keeps those linebackers up tight to the line so that the slant route is open. And you saw the slant was in behind all the linebackers who had been sucked up to the line of scrimmage, anticipating the handoff. The slant was open, and a huge, huge gain on 3rd down for the Central offense.
Wide open in the middle of the field. Now Central is knocking on the door to go up 2 scores. Haney is back into the game directly behind the quarterback Newsom. Handoff Haney. Haney dives into the purple, and he's rewarded with a touchdown, but there is a flag on the play. Ken Holm, the veteran referee. Holding on Central. So take the Haney touchdown off the board if you are playing fantasy football tonight. I apologize.
Yeah.
That's not
high school
our fault.
fantasy football is only for the sickos.
There are many in this community that love this sport, John. So this will push the ball back to the 11-yard line. Haney remains in the game. 14-7 in favor of Central. There are 4 minutes to go in the first half. Haney again. And a good job by Bellevue West. They gobbled him up with some gang tackling. Hayter is back into the game after that cramping issue. That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a good push there from Ryland Schweiss to just close down that gap. And then the linebacker flows over top to make the stop. That's about the best we've seen this Bellevue West run defense look when Kylon Haney's been in the game.
The 2nd down and goal now at the 7-yard line. Haney stays into the game. They brought in Miguel Hart, the fullback who scored the game's first touchdown on a 5-yard run. He's on the right hip of Newsom. They turn, they hand it off to Haney. Haney cutting to the outside. Haney works off a block. There's a flag down. Haney scores again, but this one's going to come off the board again. On Bellevue West's touchdown, there were 2 key 15-yard penalties against Central, and now 2 Kylon Haney touchdown runs have been taken off the scoreboard with back-to-back holding calls against the Eagles.
And there's a hold in the backfield, and I think it might have been on the fullback, Miguel Hart. Let's have another look. Yeah, you can see Hart got him wrapped up right there, takes him to the ground. It was a hold all the way. I spotted that during the play, didn't know if it was going to get called, and it did.
So 2nd and goal, but now it's 2nd and goal from the 17-yard line.
Can Omaha Central score a touchdown on a 3rd consecutive play, Gary Sharp?
We're about to find out. If Haney can do this hat trick, tip your cap and award him the player of the game already. This time he'll put it up. Newsome in the pocket, steps up, and as he's going down, throws it to Haney wide open, and he'll waltz into the end zone. There are no flags on the field.
You said it, a Haney hat trick. This one counts for all 6. How about that? What a play by B.J. Newsome. Escaping the pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's in the grasp and still manages to get it away with accuracy to his running back out of the backfield. That is just tremendous.
Schrader's kick is up, and it is good. And Central now with a 2-touchdown lead as we get a look at Newsome's pass to Haney wide open. And into the end zone.
Tell you what, the Central offense looks pretty good. There were a lot of questions with the transfer out of their 2 primetime wide receivers last season in Deshaun Prince and Amir Hill. Who would be the guys on this offense? Well, number 8 is a dude. He's not just a guy, he's a dude. And the growth and maturation of B.J. Newsome has been really, really impressive. We have seen just about all of it here tonight. Central, if you are on their schedule, avert your eyes because you've got a train coming down the tracks, or it certainly looks so here in week 1.
Deshaun Prince transferred to Millard South. He is a young wide receiver who was offered a scholarship by Nebraska after his 8th grade year. Before he started at Benson, then was here at Central, and now this year is at Millard South. Be time for Bellevue West to mount a drive. And Lewis on the kickoff return finds his way out to the 27-yard line before he is brought down by Rowe on special teams. And we'll see what adjustment Bellevue West made. They didn't appear to be on the same page, quarterback to wide receivers on the last drive that resulted in a punt. So Will Anderson goes back to work, but now he's down 2 touchdowns.
This feels like a really important drive in this game right here, does it not? If Bellevue West goes 3 and out, you'd put your money on Central to probably go down and get more points. Bellevue West needs to take this ball and punch it in the end zone right now.
They run a screen and went off the hands of the intended wide receiver. They had it set up really well. Van Briesen could not handle the touch pass from Anderson. It'll be 2nd down.
And that screen was well set up. That was going to be a big gainer. And Van Briesen just kind of stone-fingered it. Got to bring that one in. That was a great drive starter right there.
Isaiah McMorris, Davon Hall, both at Nebraska.
All the Johnson kids.
Keegan is at Kansas State, the son of Bellevue West and Nebraska great Clester. And Anderson running out of the pocket. He's got a lot of room, and he'll step out of bounds to the 40. Good job by Will Anderson. Instead of forcing it, he turned to his left. See here on a replay, John, he had a lot of room, and he just took off. He can run. It's not just the big boy arm. He does have some speed. Smart play, stepped out of bounds. They mark him at the 38-yard line. It is a 1st down, pick up a 10. And Bellevue West will take a timeout. Actually, Central will take a timeout with 2:46 remaining here in the 1st half. Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll have highlights. We'll have analysis. We'll have the Central Band, which is award-winning. We will take a look at the preseason now into Week 1 top 10. And have some other thoughts and observations from our perch high above the field on a gorgeous night for football.
I think this is a good timeout here by Central. They have a lot of players who play both ways. A lot of their guys play on both sides of the ball. They've got a lot of downs here in this 1st half. And this being such an important drive here late in the 2nd quarter, It's good to just give those guys a breath, let them take a moment to gather themselves. Because as you know, Bellevue West does not have guys who play both ways. They are fresh every time they take the field. Probably a good idea to just get your defense a little bit of a rest here.
What do we have here? John, do you have a fire truck like that for your son?
I do not.
I think you might need to talk to that gentleman from the Omaha Fire and Rescue. Tossing treats into the crowd. He's the most popular guy here. They set up another screen, and this time Van Briesen makes the catch. He's got a first down. He's out to midfield.
That's the play they wanted on first down. And this time it is executed. It's caught, and they pick up a first down.
Davion Wensley, who is another up-and-comer with the tackle. And now, as we saw on the touchdown drive, if Will Anderson can get into a lather, some rhythm, that's how this Bellevue West offense runs. And Briesen in the backfield with Anderson. They exchanged some notes about what happened in class today. Now Green in motion. And Anderson, three-step drop, plenty of time. Got rid of it downfield as he let it go before Isaac Ackerman came in on him. And there was no penalties. Talking to Kent Holm, I think Holm was just reminding him that a step later, and that would have been a penalty. As you see, Ackerman hit Anderson as he let it go. It'll be second down and 10.
It's a pretty ball down the sideline. Caprice Keith just couldn't catch up to it.
Caprice Keith, who has an Iowa State offer, and a dad who is a legend in this town in Kenton Keith. Played at Omaha, Benson, New Mexico State, and in the CFL. Van Briesen runs straight ahead on the play action. And now we have a fight. And away from your picture, and here comes Central players off the bench. There are coaches out there. There are flags. And it started on a blocking play. Marcellus Lloyd and Anthony Liggins were away from the play. Lloyd was blocking Liggins, and Liggins got injured on this little scrum being taken off the field. They would not. They were grabbing onto each other. They would not let go.
I think it was actually 6 who was in the scrum, Gary. Liggins was away from it a little bit. I think it was Cecilio Loredon who might have been the one that was tangled up.
So it was right on the Central sideline. There are flags all over the field. This is after the play.
And Loredon is the one getting a talking to down on the bench right now. So there were some punches that were thrown. I think there's going to be a disqualification out of this whole situation.
So Ken Holm with the rest of his crew, they're exchanging notes right now. The players are ready to go. There's 1:49 to go in the first half. They're all lined up like nothing just happened. But there are going to be offsetting penalties. Now will there be ejections? Nobody from the Bellevue West sideline came across the field. It was in front of the Central bench, and there were players that came onto the field from Central. Ken Holm and his officials trying to figure it out. You see Terrence Mackey, the head coach of Central. He's awaiting word. Again, both teams are like, let's just play on. They're both up at the line of scrimmage, and this is going to take a while to sort out. And now Ken Holm is saying, get away from the line of scrimmage here. We are not done exchanging notes. Terrence Mackey was at Omaha Benson before coming to Central last year.
And it just kind of boiled over, I think, from the previous play into that one. And Marcellus Lloyd from Bellevue West and Cecilio Loredon were tangled up, and they did not separate when they were asked to separate, and then more people got involved, and there may have been some hands thrown. And boy, I don't know. It seems like either one or both might end up not seeing the field in the second half of this one.
So while Terrence Mackey, the head coach for Central, is out on the field near the officials, Abdul Muhammad, his assistant, has gathered the rest of the team around him. And now Ken Holm will come over to talk to Terrence Mackey. Mackey is pointing across the field. The reaction would tell you there is an ejection here involving a Central player.
He's Coach Mackey not happy about whatever information he is receiving.
Again, 1:49 to go in the first half. 21-7 in favor of Central. B.J. Newsom with a couple of touchdown passes. And after the fracas that broke out at the end of a play, we're on about a 10-minute delay as they're trying to figure this out. And again, Terrence Mackey is discussing with Ken Holm what their decision is. You see him pointing to the other sideline.
Yeah, and when you're up 2 scores in the first half and everything's going right, it just seems a little bit unnecessary to get involved in that kind of stuff, you know, and for Central to lose their starting cornerback potentially would be a huge blow. I'm sure that's what Coach Mackey is concerned about. We have not resolved anything as of yet.
So as we await.
But I am glad that in the end, cooler heads did prevail. It didn't boil completely over and turn into a seriously ugly situation.
So now Ken Holm will trot across the field and talk to 12th year head coach for Bellevue West, Mike Huffman. And now you can read lips about what happened. And I think a little bit of what Coach Huffman's discussion will be is that none of our guys came off the sidelines. And this occurred at the end of the last play.
And there's no replay, so you can't, there's no going back and deciding who came off the bench, who didn't, who threw a punch, who didn't. It's just the referee's discretion in the moment, what they saw, what they didn't see.
So Ken Holm will come to midfield after sorting all of this out. So the going to be a penalty on Central.
Personal foul. So offsetting penalties.
Now there is another additional penalty.
And then an additional unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Central, which will be the 15-yard penalty.
So no ejection of a player.
They did not signal ejection, so everybody's still eligible to play in this one.
And this moves the ball all the way down to the 16-yard line. This is, no, they continue to, the ball was to be snapped on 3rd down and 7 at the 47. They have just marked it. This
30 yards of penalties?
This is a 40-yard penalty, John. So
Holy
it was
smokes.
at the 47, and they've moved the ball to the 7-yard line.
How do you get 40 yards of penalty? That doesn't seem to make any sense.
If they would have stopped at the 17, now they are.
So they're moving it to the 2. It's 45 yards of penalties.
Now they've moved it to the 3-yard line.
That's got to be a triple unsportsmanlike conduct. I've never seen this before.
And Will Anderson is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Wow.
After a 45-yard penalty, Omaha Central is within a score.
I have never seen a triple unsportsmanlike conduct penalty ever. 45 yards of penalties on one sequence. Put Bellevue West at the 2-yard line, and Will Anderson just ran it up inside. We've got a one-score game pending the extra point.
And Guerrero is in, and it's now 21-14.
Wow. What in the world just happened?
Still left to play. It's still Central High 21. Thunderbirds 14.
Well, they just kept moving the ball towards the goal line. They placed it down, and Will Anderson went on a quick count and waltzes into the end zone. Boy, how this game has changed a little bit. 45 yards of penalties on one play.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know it was possible. But what a break for Bellevue West. I mean, they were the ones who kept their heads, stayed on the sideline, didn't come running out onto the field, and which is a bit easy to say because the fracas was happening right in front of the Central bench. It was closest to their sideline. But, man, what a turn of events.
That is Mike Huffman, and they sorted it out. He probably was trying to figure it out. Okay, what play? Are they going to stop at the 10? No, they keep walking. So new game, 21-14, minute 32 to go. 45 yards of penalties on Central. 3 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on the same play. No ejections from the 5-yard line. This kickoff will be returned by Whitcomb, and he is spun to the ground from Robinson.
Well, with a minute 24 left, we haven't seen Central throw the ball downfield much. They got a big play on a slant route in setting up their previous touchdown. We'll see what Terrence Mackey and company want to do here.
So Newsom asking for a different football. He's got 2 touchdown passes tonight. Been very efficient against this Bellevue West defense. What a weird turn of events right before the end of the first half.
That's why we watch sports, Gary. Every time you watch, you'll see something you've never seen before.
We'll see if Central now, the reaction after the 45 yards of penalties. There was one play into the end zone, and Central is back out there. Haney this time is wrapped up from behind by Macklin Kennedy. Haney is nearing 100 yards here in the first half. Clock continues to run. It'll be second down.
And after that sequence, that could be a huge boost for Bellevue West. I think Central might just want to get to the locker room and erase all that.
Newsom will put it up. Now he'll run. And he's got a lot of room in front of him. He slides down out of the 35-yard line. That's enough for a first down.
Clock still running, under 50 seconds now. They did not stop it to move the chains. And now the clock's running again.
Now they'll come to the sidelines and they'll add time to the clock.
And it should be around 53, I think. And I'm not going to add much back yet.
They are communicating. The side judge came over to talk to Terrence Mackey, and yep, 52 seconds is what will be on the clock. So they are signaling up towards the press box on the added time. Central Brain Trust. Yep, 52 seconds. So still plenty of time. It is a first down on the scramble by Newsom. Got Haney as the lone running back. Quick drop. Newsom looking deep. Fires it deep down the field for Pittman. And Keith knocks it in the air. And it, fortunately for Bellevue West, fell harmlessly to the turf, but Pittman had popped back up and almost had a play on it. You're going to get a look at Keith with the pass breakup on the deep ball to Torrey Pittman.
Pass is just slightly underthrown. Pittman misread it a little bit and gave Keith a chance to make a play on the ball. And as you said, nearly got back into it and made the catch.
Keith, who is just scratching the surface, only a junior. He's still young. I believe that Caprice is only 16 years old. As a junior. They turn, they hand it off to Haney. Haney plows into one man and then goes down out of the 40. Central has one timeout remaining. And Hayter, who earlier in the game was sidelined due to cramps, is down again. So he'll be looked at.
They're looking at the right calf. Perhaps the right knee this time. Clock at 21 seconds. Central running play last time. Makes you wonder if that shot downfield was their one chance. And they kind of say, if we didn't get this, we're going to the locker room. Maybe you try throw something to the flat, see if one of your speedy wide receivers can break a tackle and get down the field rather than putting the ball in danger over the middle. Had a lot of success throwing the ball to the perimeter tonight.
Well, the vibe and the tone of this game has really changed after the little altercation that resulted in essentially a 45-yard penalty. Bellevue West scoring on the ensuing play after about a 15-minute delay to try and figure out what happened along the Omaha Central sideline. Now as Newsom looks to the sideline, B.J. Newsom been really good tonight. Third year as a starter. There's Torrey Pittman. Good offseason for Central. These skill guys play 7-on-7. They've reset the clock again. Now they'll wind it. And Newsom will go to work. It is 3rd down and 3. Newsom looking deep, fires it deep once. Pittman's got to step on Keith and just turned the wrong way.
Oh, they had it. Pittman had a step. If he catches it, I don't think Keith is going to be able to keep up with him. And Pittman just lost the ball. Maybe lost it in the lights. I don't know. But look here. Yeah, he lost the ball in the lights. He couldn't see it.
So now 4th down. Bellevue West has 2 timeouts remaining. And for the first time tonight, Central's going to have to punt the football away. Isaac Ackerman is the punter. Green is one of the deep men, and Ackerman will be fair caught at the 30-yard line by Green. So they will mark it actually at the 31-yard line. Bellevue West with 11 seconds. They do have 2 timeouts. Down 21-14, and there is a flag down. Back where Ackerman let it go, it'll be on Omaha Central. Ken Holm comes over to talk to Mike Huffman about what they want to do. All of a sudden, Ken Holm got really busy here in the last 20 minutes.
Well, I was going to say, with a timeout remaining, or 2 timeouts remaining, you could probably run 2 plays with your 11 seconds, and the middle of the field would be open. You could get 10 to 15 yards if you wanted them. Call your timeout and set up a Hail Mary. Anderson's got a good arm. He can he can probably get it to the end zone from midfield if you want to go that route.
Johnny Guerrera is the place kicker for Bellevue West, a year that Bellevue West has had to completely rebuild their special teams. 2 timeouts for Bellevue West, down a score, 11 seconds to go. They'll snap it from their own 39-yard line. Anderson with time, now steps up, looking downfield. He is right at the line of scrimmage, and his pass is incomplete. Boy, great effort by Keith, but he could not get a foot down.
Yeah, he caught it, but he was out of bounds when he came down.
Boy, Anderson almost went over the line of scrimmage on his pass as Keith went up, and again, no replay. And school.
Yeah, good job by Tavian Winsley to just put hands on Keith and not allow him to come down in bounds after that great catch.
So this will be the final play of the first half, but all of a sudden it's become quite interesting. Out of the backfield, Anderson looks that way, now steps up, now he's got to run, and he'll just go down, and that will be the end of the first half.
Anderson rolls to a stop. That'll bring
So it's 21-7. We had a little scrum.
your halftime score is Central High.
And the next thing you know, Bellevue West is on the board. Omaha Central will get the ball to begin the second half as the Eagles with a 21-14 lead. We'll tell you more about what just happened over the last 24 minutes and more festivities from Omaha Central after this. It's game time on Your View.
Lowood wins. Now very
21-14, Central leads Bellevue West here at halftime. Look at that. That's part of the halftime festivities here on the opening Friday night of the season. And when you come to Central and it's halftime, you know what that means. It is the pride of Omaha Central, the Marching Eagles. Chio Traunik is the director. I always appreciate about when we see the Central band is they have a lot of parent support. including a local sportscaster who we both know, Michael Severe.
We know him well.
His sons have gone to school here. They're part of the band. So Michael, along with the other parents, down there setting up for another award-winning performance by the Omaha Central Band. And as we make our tour of the Omaha area and we see bands, there are some bands that don't have a lot of members. This is one of the larger bands in all of Class A, and we're going to let you listen in on their performance to kick off the season. Again, school has been in session for a couple of weeks, but just like the football team, band starts well before that. This is a year-round endeavor for the marching band. And here is the pride of Omaha Central, the opening Friday night of the season, the Marching Eagles.
Omaha
He's got the
Central
thumbs
High
up
School
from the
Band
side.
is
Ready to go.
proud to present this year's marching show, Firebird Part 1. Drum makers, is the band ready?
The first game of the season, but the Omaha Central Marching Band sounds like they are in mid-season form. 21-14, Central leads Bellevue West. Back more halftime after this on Game Time. 21-14, Central leads Bellevue West on the first Friday of the season. Game time on Your View, presented by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Beautiful downtown Omaha. Interesting game and interesting start to the season where Omaha West Side, the two-time defending champion, last night got a victory over Omaha North. They did not begin the year number one. That belongs to Millard South, as the Patriots are pursuing their first title since 2009, John.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since any of the Millard schools won one. They had that great run where it was there was a couple of years where it was Millard versus Millard in the state final. And each of the three had a title in that run in the early 2000s.
Death taxes and Guy Rosenberg keeping Elkhorn South near the top, and they won big today against Lincoln East. They're number 3. Millard North is number 4. Now, one of the main storylines about Class A football in Nebraska this year is Millard North, for the first time in 4 decades, has a new head coach.
Yep.
Fred Petito retired at the end of last year, and Alan Burrell, a former assistant who was at Elkhorn Mount Michael, is the new guy in charge of the Mustangs. People are asking him, is your first play tonight against Millard West going to be a pass? But even more so, there is a new look for Millard North. The familiar tape on the helmets has been retired as well.
Yeah, that was a Fred Petito thing, and some things it doesn't feel right if it's not Fred on the sidelines with the tape on the helmet, right? And Alan Burrell's got to start his own traditions and make the program his own. But that's a squad with 2 high-level D1 recruits in Pierce Mooberry and Caden Vermoss. Very talented bunch. It'll be interesting to see what the Mustangs look like for the first time in 40 years without Fred.
Omaha North with Nebraska recruit Tyson Terry at 5, and then Creighton Prep, Bellevue West, Kearney, Lincoln Southeast, Papillion, La Vista. Millard Southwest side at the top. Don't forget about Elkhorn South. A lot of parity this year. Here it's 21-14 at the break. Central leads Bellevue West on Game Time. Along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp and the entire Game Time crew after the first half. Interesting first half. Central comes out and they kind of match what their coaches have been saying during camp with a 21-14 lead. Let's see how Central got the touchdown lead, John.
Well, Bellevue West went 3 and out on their opening possession, and then after that, Omaha Central just marched the ball down the field with some Kylon Haney runs, and then a handoff to the big fullback. Miguel Hart punches it in, makes it 7-0. Bellevue West would find an answer, though, on their next possession. A good throw by Will Anderson moving out of the pocket to find the touchdown. The tight end for Central would get in on the act. He would put one in the end zone, and then it's J.B. Livingston. The huge play off the slant route puts them in prime position to add to the lead. Some penalties would back them up. It would not affect things as Kylon Haney catches the pass out of the backfield to make it 21-7. And then the big scrum happened. Bellevue West gets 45 yards of penalties to move them down to the 2. Willie Anderson punches it in from a couple yards out. And that's how we get to 21-14 at the break.
Going to be an interesting second half. More coming up after this. Hey, that's a welcome to us and the entire Game Time crew. The Omaha Central student section. You know what? Hold on, John, you take it here. I got to get my phone out. I'll turn on my flashlight.
Flashing lights.
Yes. Yes. One of the most famous alums, if not the most famous alum from Omaha Central, Warren Buffett, turns 94 today.
How about that?
Let's take a look at the stats from the first half that has Central up by a score of 21-14. John Cotta is back with us again as our statistician, and very one-sided, but John mentioned during the break, big reason is the first touchdown drive for Central, 87 yards, the second one, 92.
Yeah, that'll add up in a hurry, and the rushing yards is what is concerning if you're Bellevue West. 164 yards on the ground in just a half of football for Omaha Central. That's got to be the big key for the second half here for Bellevue West is, as I said off the top, stop the run first. That's your goal number one.
Can we go back and look at the keys where we say where John was right and where John was wrong?
We can do that, yeah, certainly. Yeah, stop the run first. I think that one's pretty good. That's going to apply pretty well. On offense for Central, I thought they needed to spread the ball a little bit wide to open up some of those zones. They have not really needed to do that. The running lanes have been there from the jump, so Central has executed really, really well in the running game. For Bellevue West, Hey, I think they've done a pretty good job on offense not trying to be too aggressive and just taking what's been there, taking what's been given. So I think I had that read pretty well, that they needed to just take what they were getting and keep moving in a forward direction as much as possible. If they can keep doing that, this will be a good game as we head down the stretch here in the second half.
Look at, I think I can see in that one apartment, they've got us on, so hello to them. We wave
hello
at
to you.
Yeah. The entire crew here in downtown Omaha, Omaha Central. Here we go for the start of the second half, 21-14. Johnny Guerrero to kick off. Back deep is Livingston, and we are underway to begin the second half. Livingston coming up on it, take it from the 15. He's got great speed. And he'll run into some traffic, but not before he gets out to the 33-yard line. And here comes B.J. Newsome. I was really impressed with seeing B.J. Newsome now 3 years as a starting quarterback at Central. In the best shape that he has been, boy, he has really grown into the role with his legs and his arm, and through 2 touchdown passes, had great command of the offense in the first half. And now he will start this drive from the 34-yard line.
You know, I think when we've seen him in the past throwing the football, it's been uneven. He didn't throw the prettiest ball, but what we've seen him tonight, tight spirals, good looking arm, putting the ball on its spot. He has really grown up as a young quarterback.
Rising talent, flips it out to Whitcomb, and good defensive play by Bellevue West. Dylan Miller strings it out, makes the tackle.
And actually Haney getting ready to come back in now.
There's actually a couple of yards that were lost on that. Haney ran for nearly 100 yards in the first half. The sophomore running back who has an offer from Nebraska. 11 carries on 92 yards. Has a touchdown receiving, and right now that is the go-ahead score as we're just underway in the third quarter. And Haney's first carry, and he's going nowhere. That was read perfectly, and coming in to make the stop for Bellevue West, coming up from his linebacker's spot.
Pono Dudoit,
who was a playmaker extreme last year. That's the first time that we have gotten the pleasure of saying his last name tonight. And we hope to be saying it a lot more if you're a Bellevue West fan, because he is a big-time piece on that defense. Pono, big playmaker. He's a 4'6", 40 guy that last year had 16.5 tackles for loss, and it's going to set up a long third down. There is a Central player down due to a cramping issue.
He's a player that they need to get involved in this run defense. As you said, didn't call his name at all in the first half. He's a guy that's got to be able to shoot those gaps, get in the backfield, and slow down the train that has been Kylon Haney.
21-14. It is the opening Friday of the season. Another element, as coming off due to cramping, that is Haney. And keep an eye on that for the rest of the night. Stanley Hayter, the talented defensive lineman for Bellevue West, a couple of times has been sidelined due to cramps, and I don't see him out there on this third and long, as it's going to take a bit for Haney to come off the field. We mentioned during halftime Millard North playing tonight, and they are leading Millard West at halftime, and Alan Burrell's debut as the head Mustang. There's another part of the season for high school football in this area. There is no home games at Burke. After the state track and field championships, they begin the renovation project, the year-long renovation project at Burke Stadium, which is the home to Burke High, and Creighton Prep plays there as well. $8 million project to update it. So Kinnick Stadium over Northwest will be used a lot. Newsome in trouble in the backfield, slipped momentarily. There's going to be a penalty. Duda got hit from behind, and the pass is incomplete. So Bellevue West has turned up the defensive intensity on the opening drive of the second half.
And it's going to be a block in the backfield.
Dudois got hit in the back in his pursuit of Newsome right there. Good shot. Thank you on the replay to our great crew.
With the incomplete pass, that'll be a declined penalty and bring up the fourth down. Central's going to have to kick it away on their opening possession.
Boy, John, it just feels like the vibe that we're getting is after the fracas that happened that resulted in 45 yards of penalties against Omaha Central and then an ensuing score, Central has not been the same.
Yeah,
it has sucked the juice out of this stadium. That was pretty raucous to begin.
Central was just rolling, and it didn't look like Bellevue West was poised to do much on that possession. They were kind of being shut down, and then all those penalty yards gave them an easy touchdown.
Green will take it from the 35, and he had a lot of space. The track star is across the 45 out to the 48-yard line. So great field position for Bellevue West. They're trying to get back into the game to tie it. They were down 21-7. This will be their first opportunity with the football. As you see the Ackerman punt. There's a little hesitation between the two return men. Robinson and Green looked at each other. Green stepped up, took it on the bounce, and got it out to the 48-yard line.
Let's see if this Bellevue West offense has fixed anything at half. A lot of plays where not everybody was on the same page, not looking for the ball at the right moment. They were able to put together some decent plays on the long touchdown drive that they did have, but it's got to look better here in the second half.
Well, quarterback power for Anderson, but too much power from Isaac Ackerman. And he brings down Anderson at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, good player. Isaac Ackerman committed to Northwest Missouri State earlier this year. He's going to be a menace in Metro football this season. There's going to be a lot of offensive coordinators to put on the tape of this game for Omaha Central and go, how are we going to block that guy?
If I remember correctly, wearing number 9, that's a good number to wear if you're on the Central defense playing the rush end spot. Deshaun Neal.
Yeah.
One of the better defensive players that have come through Central of late. Anderson again calls his own number, and this time the hole is a lot bigger. He got a downfield block that has sprung him inside of the 20-yard line.
Well, this is a little new wrinkle for Bellevue West. We didn't see this with Danny Kalin in years past, but Will Anderson, a little bit better athlete. And one way to get your team on the same page, run the football. They didn't have much success with the handoff to the running back, but Will Anderson, look at this. A little read option, scoots out the front door. Big gain. Bellevue West in business, looking to tie this game.
36-yard run by Anderson. Wardlow with a great block downfield. Now inside of the red zone, Bellevue West looking to tie it up. And Anderson is breathing pretty hard after that long run. Turns, fakes it, throws a fade to the end zone. Touchdown! Whaley with his second touchdown reception of the night. And we're an extra point away from a tie.
Well, he just caught that touchdown over the guy we told you in the open is the number 16 recruit in the nation for 2027. And TJ Whaley, you know what he did? He got a great release off the line and absolutely put Pittman in his back pocket, ran that route to perfection, and a great delivery from his quarterback.
And Guerra's PAT has tied the game at 21. Bellevue West has come back, and it's a whole new night in Omaha. Central and Bellevue West, and Will Anderson's second touchdown pass on Game Time. Mike Huffman, 12th year head coach of Bellevue West, won a state title in 2016, 2019. And his team has come from behind 21-7, 21-21. Central has got to regain that spark that they've had for the majority of the game, and it might happen here on the kickoff return.
Liggins with a big return
On the way out to the 35-yard line. Good field position to start. As J.B. Livingston gives B.J. Newsome some good operating room, and not sure what you do to get Central out of this funk. Now we talk about Central, but also Bellevue West intensity on defense has picked up the last couple of times out there.
Yeah, and the other thing is Kylon Haney is on the sideline without his helmet on. And with cramps at the high school level, when you're at the college or pro level, you can get the team doctor to give you an IV and you can get back out there and play. You don't do that at the high school level. If you have cramps, your night's probably over.
They turn and they hand it off. Short yardage for Mumphrey, and there is Haney. Came off the field in the last series due to a cramping issue. And the sophomore running back who's been offered by Nebraska on the sidelines as this drive continues. Mumphrey with a pickup of 1.
This offense just looks different when he's not in the game. He is such a playmaker from the running back spot.
The playmaker at the top of your screen is Torrey Pittman. They've tried a couple of times to go deep to him. Newsome looking his way, fires it downfield, and it is caught. And it is close to a first down as he found Torrey Pittman the third.
That move the sticks.
Number 31, Valencia on the stop for the Thunderbirds, but not until another Central high.
Pittman on the catch, spins out of a tackle, but Caprice Keith able to bring him down this time.
Check of Haney on the sidelines has put on his helmet, and the pass is dropped. Boy, Livingston, I think he knew he had some room to run, but he forgot the most important thing. That was to catch the ball first, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
He left the ball behind him, turned his head a little too quickly to locate the defender, Kaylee Smith. He was thinking about a big gain before he caught the football. Haney's back out there now. We'll see. He's got the cramping issue resolved.
Both of these teams with a difficult early portion of the season on the schedule. Good matchup. Tied to 21 in the 3rd quarter on the opening night of the high school football season. Newsome fakes it, drops it off to Haney out of the backfield, and Haney fights his way into Bellevue West territory. Somehow he got 6 yards out of that pass.
Yeah, and he's still flexing that left leg. So he's not completely over it yet. He's given it the old college try here to try and stay out there and help his team in this tie football game, but it's something we're going to have to monitor.
The Sayers, the Amon Greens, the Morrows, the Horns, the Flowers, the Calvin Jones, Grigsby, all great names as Central running backs. There are more. John brought up Trey Sanders, who his eligibility expired a couple of years ago. And now Kylon Haney, who is trying to get to the outside on 3rd down. There is a flag down away from the play. Haney's got enough for the first down. But this is going to come back once again. And this is a problem that plagued Central last year, was penalties at inopportune times. They had earlier in the game, before the 45 yards on one play penalties, they had 2 15-yard penalties that continued a Bellevue West touchdown drive. And this holding call after Haney got a first down will be moved back, and Haney's going to have to come to the sidelines again as that cramping issue has reared its ugly head, and they're really struggling to get to the sidelines.
Yeah, they got right tackle Kelvon Gordon for the hold on the outside. He just buried the defensive end and bear hugged him. It was pretty blatant.
Pitch. Good job by the Bellevue West defense of rallying. Whitcomb caught the high pitch, and he ran into a host of Thunderbirds. And Omaha Central will have to punt. The Omaha Central offense has hit the wall.
It just looked like early on in this game, Gary, they were doing whatever they wanted to do. Everything was working. And since we have come out of the halftime locker room, it has completely reversed.
It has to do with Haney not being out there all the time, as Ackerman is back for the punt. personnel on both sides are late getting on the field. Ackerman, a pretty good punter, and they run a fake. Ackerman throws it back across. It is caught by Nichols. He's got wide open room. Downfield, he makes a cut. Another cut. He's inside of the 20 and hauled down at the 11. They run a fake punt, and Ackerman fakes everybody out, throws it back to his left to Andrell Nichols, and Nichols all the way down to the 12-yard line. And on the play, there are no flags. That's first and foremost for Central, but there are 2 Bellevue West defenders down with cramping issues, another for Central. And look at this play. Boy, Terrence Mackey trying to get a spark, goes to the bag of tricks.
What about that call? You let your tight end, defensive end / punter throw a pass to one of the fastest guys on your team, Andrell Nichols, and it works to perfection. You want a spark? That'll light the fire.
And Ackerman, he has a little bit of a rugby style, so when he made the move, you thought, okay, he's just waiting, and then he turned and threw a little Tim Tebow-esque jump pass that Nichols caught everybody off guard, and they will mark the ball at the 13-yard line. Oh my.
Week 1, Gary. Here we are.
Well, you think about, we just mentioned, they've kind of hit the wall. They need a spark. In 21-21 game, especially where they were snapping the ball, that is quite the call. And Nichols outran his blockers. And finally was caught from behind. So now Newsome is back out there, trying to put the Eagles back on top. Play action. Fires out to Ackerman, and Ackerman is sliced down at the 10-yard line.
That
Now
really good tackle.
And now B.J. Newsome is experiencing a cramping issue.
Well, that would be a huge loss.
Gianni Gish is the backup quarterback for Central. Newsome is now he trots over to the sidelines to get the play. They are readying.
Yasir Grigsby's going to come in at quarterback.
We did not see him working much under center during warmups. It was Gish, but Grigsby maybe possibly just a wildcat situation here.
Yeah, we've seen him catch a pass already tonight.
He does play quarterback, but they use him in different areas, and he hands it off to the fullback Hart, and Hart, Udois, comes from behind and wraps him up. So it'll be second down.
Kylon Haney looks like he wants to give it another go. Newsome looks like he might be sorted out now, but quarterback and running back, 2 players who've made a ton of big plays tonight for Central, dealing with cramps here in the 3rd quarter.
And they are back into the game as the clock runs. Over 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Bellevue West has come from 2 touchdowns behind to tie the game. Second down and 14 at the 17-yard line. Newsome looks at the sidelines, may not have the right personnel for the play. Now they got to hurry up. And the play clock expires, and it'll be a delay of game call on Omaha Central. So push him back 5 yards all the way to the 22-yard line.
I mean, you just can't waste this opportunity if you're Central. Your offense has not been able to do anything here in the 3rd quarter. You get the huge play on the fake punt. Send yourself back 5 yards, not getting the play in time. This is an opportunity that you just absolutely need.
Pittman, Livingston, Out his wide receivers, Hart and Haney in the backfield with B.J. Newsome.
Watch the tight end Elijah Wayne lined up at the bottom of the formation.
Newsome rolls right, fires downfield, and it is caught by Pittman. He got hit right away, back to the original line of scrimmage, and now it'll be 3rd down.
89 Wilson on the stop.
Huge play in this game upcoming right here. It's a really good throw by Newsome. Pittman just does hang on to it. You'd like to see him catch that with his hands rather than his body. The hit comes in, that can get jarred loose, but he's able to secure it and give Central at least a chance. They can pick up a 1st down without scoring a touchdown here.
Again, Hart and Haney in the backfield. Pittman and Livingston, the wide receivers. Newsome, 3-step drop, waiting, still plenty of time. Good protection. Fires it towards the end zone. There is a flag down. It is caught for a touchdown, but there is a flag down in the middle of the line of scrimmage. So Pittman with the catch, but we await the call. And it's another penalty on Central that takes a touchdown off the board.
Wow. Wow.
This one coming as a shotgun. Penalty is on Central.
It will be a personal foul on Omaha Central. Moves him all the way back to the 28-yard line.
I didn't see it. I don't know what the call might be. The only thing I can think is maybe illegal hands to the face in there.
So it will be 3rd down and the length of the Jocelyn Museum, which is right next door.
That's a significantly longer distance with the addition.
This is a long distance. They snap it from the 28. 3rd down. Newsome steps up. Now looking downfield. Nobody's open. All the way back near midfield. Heaves it downfield. Wide open receiver is Haney. Haney barrels through a couple of T-birds. Tumbles inside of the 15. That's a pickup of 13. Still short of the 1st down. Will bring up 4th down. The safety valve for Haney. Boy, Newsome was in trouble and he was just spinning around. That would have been a major loss of yardage, but Haney's able to get it back and get it inside of the 15. And now another Thunderbird is down due to cramping.
I believe it's Caprice Keith who's now down with cramps. He being the only T-Bird who plays on both sides of the ball.
Kickoff temperature tonight was at 84, low humidity. But this is the first game. There are no, what you would say, exhibition games or scrimmages in Nebraska. Last Friday night, a majority of the teams across the state were having a soap scrimmage, an inter-squad contest. Now, this has been a very physical game. Not a surprise, all the cramping issues.
Central does have a good kicker, as you've mentioned, in Hendrik Schrader. And that gain by Haney gives him a much better chance at making this short field goal. If that is indeed what they choose to do. It'll be 4th down and about 11. We'll get back to play.
I would think with B.J. Newsome, the quarterback, with his helmet off on the sidelines, they will attempt a field goal. This would be a 31-yard field goal. There really is no wind to speak of. Where this stadium sits, it's just up from Interstate 480, and across Interstate 480 is Creighton University, right in downtown Omaha. You've seen numerous beauty shots tonight by our fantastic crew. You can stand on the 50 and look right into downtown Omaha. See the skyline. So Schrader, they will place the ball down at the 21. So this is a 31-yard field goal to put Central back on top. Schrader has not attempted a field goal tonight. Snap back, ball is down, the kick is up, and it is no good. It was short.
Just short.
They just mishit it, Gary. He hit the ball too low, and it never got the required height to get over the crossbar. Distance was okay, but he hit it too low.
So a break for Bellevue West after the trick play on 4th down. Ackerman's pass to Nichols. Bellevue West holds. Penalties again got in the way for Central. And here comes the Thunderbirds, who are down 21-7. But now Will Anderson, in his first varsity start as the quarterback at Bellevue West, starting to lather up. Turns, hands it off to Lewis. Minimal gain.
The QB run game was the story of the last drive. We'll see if they go back to some of that here. As the handoff to the running back, you just saw another one from Lewis. It's been largely ineffective tonight. That Central defensive line has done a great job of clogging things up in the middle. It's been when Anderson has escaped the pocket or done some zone read action that they've had success on the ground.
21-21. Anderson turns, fires it near side to Whaley, who's been on the other end of a couple of touchdown passes tonight. Whaley is injured. He got hogtied along the Central sideline, and he is down and immediately being attended to by the Central training staff. Oh boy. Kind of awkwardly got caught up with the defensive back. And Whaley's not easy to bring down. He's 6'3". The young man going through a chain of emotions, and
don't like that. I don't like the look of it at all.
Looking at his right knee. Oh.
Oof.
Enough said. No. Well,
thank goodness.
He is up, and he is trotting off the field. Boy, that last replay, that did not look good at all. It was not a cramping issue. And good on that young man, because that looked a lot worse. Boy, that was we were ready to go. Oh boy. And TJ Whaley gets up. He's across the field. Strange game tonight.
That was a heart and mouth moment.
21-21. It's now 3rd down and 3 for the T-Birds. Van Briesen in the backfield with Will Anderson. The junior signal caller awaits the snap. Moves straight ahead. And he's going to have a first down. His forward momentum will carry him out to the 31. Anderson is 6'1", 190.
Did just enough. Got the nose of the football across the 31. Just the line he needed to gain.
Andre Bolton Jr., defensive back for Central, will limp off the field due to a cramping issue.
Seen a lot of it tonight.
If you had a dime for every time I said the word cramping tonight, you'd be discussing some futurisms with Warren Buffett. That has been an issue on the opening night of the season. Anderson under pressure. Here comes Ackerman. There goes Anderson down. Isaac Ackerman spins Anderson to the turf on an 8-yard sack.
Man, just tremendous closing speed from Ackerman coming off the edge. Quarterback rolling away from him. Watch this. Watch him just flash into the picture and make the good tackle. And very lucky for Anderson that he held on to that football. You see that ball come out so many times on that kind of play where the quarterback's moving to his left with the ball in his right hand. It gets chopped out of there.
Now 2nd down and 17. They run a screen. And Anderson overshot the intended running back Van Briesen out of the backfield. And Anderson got hit again after he let it go, and a flag came out.
He didn't have what he wanted, so he was just trying to throw it out there, let it harmlessly hit the turf, and he took a shot in the chops for his trouble.
Ken Holm, actually, it feels like a member of our broadcast crew tonight. We have zeroed in on the referee for tonight's game plenty. There have been so many penalties in this game, a majority on Central, and it's really stunted their momentum that they had. They were rolling up 21-17, but on this case, that is a penalty on Bellevue West. It was thrown by the side judge, so this is a decision. Terrence Mackey, next to the referee Abdul Muhammad, his assistant, they will decline the penalty, so it will make it 2nd and 22.
So if they take the result of the down, should it not be 3rd?
Yep, I think now they will. That'll be a quick discussion here. The down marker still has 2nd down. The penalty declined.
They should move it back to the old line of scrimmage.
The Eagles have declined the penalty.
So
that should bring up 3rd down.
The PA announcer has just said that should bring up 3rd down. Now that changes. So it is 3rd down and 17 on the 24-yard line.
So it would be a sack on 1st down and an incomplete on 2nd.
Anderson looking for Green, and he overshoots him, and it is incomplete.
Anderson's pass.
Anthony Liggins, who had to leave the game earlier due to a cramping issue, back out at his cornerback spot. Yeah. And on 4th down, Bellevue West will have to punt it away.
Anderson just really didn't even give his receiver a chance on that play. He threw it well over him and well out of bounds. If you're going to take that shot, you want to throw a 50-50 ball, that's fine, but you got to make it a 50-50 and not a 0.
So Will Anderson, the quarterback, is also the punter. So Central, with a missed field goal that would have put them up by 3. The defense, pretty stout. They force a punt, and Anderson lets the punt go. And it will get a friendly Bellevue West roll. It'll roll out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Knotted at 21 near the end of the 3rd quarter. Opening night of the season. Game time. Central's got the ball back. B.J. Newsome. Elijah Wayne in motion. Again, this series turns and hands it off to Haney. Haney here in the 2nd half, battling a little bit of the cramping issues, and also the Bellevue West defense that has adjusted. One of his longer carries. He is over 100 yards. Clock continues to run. We're near a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. This quarter will be remembered by the yellow flag.
There have been a lot of them. A lot of laundry on the field tonight. Refs are going to be taking some little rubber pellets home with them.
There's a pickup by Haney of 6. This time Ackerman is in motion. It's a good law firm on defense, Wayne and Ackerman. Haney runs behind the block by Ackerman, gets to the outside, but there's going to be a flag down, and it will be a penalty. Ackerman was holding on a little bit too long, trying to seal that block.
That's right where the flag came in. And if you were watching the tight end for Omaha Central, you would have seen it. And there it is. Big grab of the shoulder pad, and that's going to get flagged most times. It's been a disjointed second half on offense for Central, which they were just humming along in the first. And then after that scrum, after the halftime break and the adjustments by Bellevue West, intensity ratcheted up. They have just found the sledding to be a lot less smooth here so far. It feels like they need another big play to really spark something, because after that fake punt, all they did was go backwards via the penalty, and that really took the wind out of the sails after they had gotten a nice breeze.
Newsom to put it up. Boy, nobody's open, but out of the backfield, he is able to find Whitcomb, and Miller tracks him down. Could be a first down. Boy, good patience by Newsom. You could see him, the pitter-patter feet, trying to find his open wide receiver, and now Pittman's got a cramping issue. He's coming off the field. Boy, Miller, good job in open field track down Whitcomb, because if he gets by him, he's downfield, and they will give him a first down.
Yeah, good job by Newsom. Came off his first read, didn't have it. Looked at the second, didn't have it. Took the check down, got a nice gain. That's the maturation of a quarterback. Last year when we watched him, he probably would have fired that thing down the middle of the field trying to force it in somewhere.
Quick out. Livingston broke one tackle. And then after he broke the tackle of Miller, Miller comes back and finishes off Livingston for maybe a pickup of one.
I think it's about 2/3 of a yard is what he gained there, Gary.
And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. A third quarter that saw Bellevue West get back into it to tie it up. A missed field goal and plenty of penalties. Come back for the final quarter on the opening night of Game Time. It is an official high school football season on Game Time, not just because we're here, but because they have played Sweet Carolina. Now we can continue with more football. Game Time on your view, brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. We begin the fourth quarter. Second down and 9. Central with the ball in a 21-21 game, led by 2 scores. And the handoff to Whitcomb. He dives out to the 45-yard line. Bring up third down and short.
That's Whitcomb's best carry of the night. Tylon Haney's been getting it done, but dealing with the cramps, and Whitcomb's been forced into action. That's the best we've seen out of the other running back for Central tonight. Now they need something here on third down to keep the drive going.
Third down, and we're going to call it 3. in motion.
That's the guy I'd be watching.
Newsom hands it off to Whitcomb, and Whitcomb is going to be about a yard short.
Whitcomb, the ball carrier for the Eagles.
Decision time here for Central. Looks like they're going to go for it.
Schweiss, Fields, among others that were in there for Bellevue West. And another player is down due to cramps. So essentially tonight, we have very rarely gone back-to-back plays without a flag or somebody encountering a cramping issue.
And that's Whitcomb.
So Terrence Mackey looking over his personnel on the sidelines.
And we have seen the other running back, Mumphrey, get a carry here tonight. So he would probably be your third option.
Now it is 4th down and looks like less than 1 yard. They put Ackerman back into the game, so they'll go with a little bit of a jumbo set. 4th down and 1. Just underway in the 4th quarter. Inside John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. Brad Pace, our producer and director, and the entire fantastic crew that gives you the sights and sounds of Friday Night Football on Game Time. They hand it off. Haney almost fumbled it, and he's got a first down.
Right side of the offensive line for Omaha Central came flying off the ball and knocked the defensive tackles out. Look at this. 68, Kelvon Gordon blowing off the line of scrimmage to create that movement. Gave Haney just enough room to get it across the 50.
Kelvon Gordon is a large individual. On some days in North America, he blocks out the sun. There, he blocked the T-Bird 5 yards downfield and allowed this drive to continue. 21-21. Central's got to take a timeout. They had 4 guys moving at one time. They're going to get everybody set. They've moved into Bellevue West territory. 21-21 in the 4th. We're in the 4th quarter.
A lot of good games going on around the Metro right now.
Bellevue Vista, Millard West, Millard North are all tight. This one tighter than all of them. The pass to Livingston to the flat.
Newsom's pass
is about
complete.
4 yards.
Pick up a 5 yards on first down.
And on the tackle, Macklin Kennedy.
19 Livingston.
So Central is pretty content here to dink and dunk their way down the field. As long as they don't commit a penalty that is a backbreaker.
That's been the issue.
This has been an effective way. The first 2 drives of the game, 87 to 92 yards.
And no penalties on either one, as far as I can remember.
You are correct, sir. 10 to go in the game. 2nd down. Handoff Haney. Can he get to the outside? He does. Bumped out of bounds about a couple yards shy of
the ball carrier.
First down marker by Reese Keith.
Pushed out of bounds by number 28 Keith.
You can see he's trying, but it doesn't look the same. The burst out of the legs is just not there the way it was in the first half. He's been affected by the muscle cramps in his lower legs.
Priest Keith, we told you about his dad, Kenton. His uncle is Brees Hall. Play action, Newsome looking down the middle of the field, fires it for Ackerman. The pass is caught! Ackerman caught it on the top of Taylor Peterson. They dial it up for the big 6'4" tight end. The flag is down. It's a face mask, I believe, on Bellevue West. But Ackerman got one-on-one with a much smaller defender, and Newsome threw it up. Ackerman came down with it. You're going to look at the replay. Right over the top of Peterson, and Peterson's hand came down on the face mask of Ackerman, bringing him down. Great look at the catch, the penalty. And Omaha Central is back in business.
Well, you said it right, Gary. Newsome put it up in the air to his tall tight end. That was the key on the play. So it's a pass interference call first, and then a face mask. It's half the distance to the goal. And Central in even better position now after the penalty.
So all of that happened on the same play. You had the pass interference while the ball was in the air,
which will be declined.
And Peterson, he's 5'8". He's going against Ackerman, who is 6'4", and then the face mask was, well, Peterson in the air was coming down. His hand got onto the protection of Ackerman. So the ball is now at the 14-yard line. There is a player down due to trampling. A lot of penalties tonight. If you are at this game and you have not had a penalty called on you, don't worry, we still have 9 minutes and 51 seconds left.
You may be entitled to compensation.
I think every member of the Ken Holm officiating crew tonight has thrown a flag.
Can we get some ice for their shoulders before they exit the stadium?
We had 45 yards of unsportsmanlike penalties on one scenario for Central back in the first half after a little fracas broke out. Now Central, and that really sucked a lot of the good juju off the sideline of Central. They got to a great start tonight. Then the game kind of came to a halt. Bellevue West got back in the game, and now here's Central after missing a 24-yard field goal back in the third quarter. They have a chance here to go up again.
If you're joining us late, Central led this game 21-7 before that fight broke out. And it's been 14 straight points for Bellevue West since then.
Haney and Hart are in the backfield with Newsome. Junior quarterbacks had a good night. Hands it to the fullback, Hart. A couple of yards. Dylan Miller has been extremely busy on that Bellevue West defense. The 5'9", 175-pound sophomore. One thing Mike Huffman has done with all the great success he's had, he is not afraid to play freshmen and sophomores.
Hey, if you can play, you're going to find a way onto the field.
So it is second down. Central can get a first down without scoring. Second down and 8 from the 12. Haney trying to find some room. A flag is down, thrown in the middle of the line of scrimmage. Haney will get a couple of yards.
I'd love to tell you I'm surprised, but I'm not a liar.
True story. John Cotter is our statistician, and he has his own particular way of keeping stats. He has had to go find another pen. It has run out of ink with all of the penalties that he has had to record.
Yeah, it's one of the things you deal with in week one in high school football. There's bound to be cramping issues. There's bound to be penalty flags on the ground.
So 2nd and 18. Newsom trying to find an open wide receiver. Says Pittman go towards the end zone. Instead, he fires it to the underneath man. And the pass is complete. Jaden Griffin, the first time of the night, is on the receiving end of a B.J. Newsom toss. But that is well short of a first down, so it's going to be third down now.
See Kylon Haney with the tight coverage. Put everything he had into that throw. He wanted to get it there in a hurry. Low and away from the defender. Good throw in the end.
Third down for the Eagles.
Schrader missed a 31-yard field goal. If they don't get any yards on this play, this would be a 32-yard field goal attempt. Now Haney is the lone back in the backfield, as Newsom will look over a three-man front. On third down, scrambling, under pressure, wards off one defender, throws it towards the end zone for Pittman, and it is incomplete.
A huge play missed by Cole Yates. He was in the backfield, had the quarterback dead to rights. Just came up empty.
So
Newsom's been so elusive tonight.
So Terrence Mackey puts his senior kicker, Hendrik Schrader, right back out there. He missed from 31 yards just a little bit ago. Now this one will be from 32. He is on the left hash mark. His miss was from the right hash mark. Griffin is the holder. From 32 to put Central on top. It is up, and it is no good. Back-to-back missed field goals.
And Schrader just not striking it cleanly. It looks exactly the same as the last one, just comes up short.
So still 21-21, plenty of time to go in the fourth quarter, 7:31 to be exact. I feel for the senior who has been very reliable for Central through his career. On the sidelines being consoled by his teammates. Now he's going to hope that the defense can get the ball back. Anderson, little shovel pass inside, finds Whaley, and Whaley's got a first down. First time they've run that play tonight. Whaley, who's got a couple of touchdowns receiving, the big-bodied wide receiver on the shuffle pass, catches it, turns it up, and a big pickup on first down for the T-Birds.
Yeah, great blocking out in front as well. Those big O linemen got downfield, took care of the linebackers. Whaley turned on the Jets and picked up the first down.
1 point in this game was 21-7 Central. Anderson pulls it out of the belly of Lewis. Finds his way for 6. And there's a flag that has come in. There was some pushing and shoving. And a flag came in immediately.
And now Stephen Owusu coming off the field. Immediately gets a talking to from the coaching staff.
So another personal foul on Central.
See if we can see what happened. There it is. Just giving him a little bit of the business on the ground. And didn't look like there was much there, but the officials have already seen a little skirmish break out, and they're going to be sensitive to that stuff.
You know where I'm going here, John. The thing that happened at the end of the first half, that impacted that penalty.
Yep, absolutely.
So now Bellevue West benefits. They're into Central territory. Anderson, they will run the end around, and Green with 10-8, 100 speed is downfield, but there is a flag, and we almost had another incident like we had in the first half. Defensive back and a wide receiver, they got tied up, and all of a sudden they were pushing and shoving on each other. And they stopped and said, "Not now." But there are flags all over the place again on this end around.
Yeah, and it's
Green.
You didn't see it, but it's Caprice Keith who's blocking downfield and just grabs his man and chucks him to the ground. And that's probably going to be a hold.
We have seen Ken Holm tonight more than his family.
Not a lie.
So I can read lips in this case. So one is a holding, and it is against Bellevue West, and that's the call.
Holding against the Thunderbirds.
Little sarcastic announcement by the PA here at Omaha Central. Been on both sides a long and frustrating night. But now the ball's back at the 44. It's first down again, but it's first down and long. Anderson, they run the shovel pass, and Lewis
Ball's
got
loose.
hit, but it is a pass. It should be an incomplete pass. On the shovel pass, it is. It's an incomplete pass. Got hammered right away as Bellevue West goes back to a play that just, with Whaley, turned out well earlier in this drive. Yep. Ackerman met Lewis, but it was a shovel pass. So it is incomplete. And now second down and 11.
Yeah, Lewis didn't have control of it long enough to be considered a catch.
I don't think he even had time. Ackerman was right there to meet him. Anderson to put it up. Downfield, caught by Whaley, first down.
Yeah, Whaley's had a heck of a game tonight. He got hit over on the sideline. We thought it looked like it was going to be a nasty injury, but he popped up, walked himself off the field. He's come back with two big plays on this drive. First, the shovel pass, and then this one out in the flat, delivered on a rope by his quarterback.
T.J. Whaley, play tight end or wide receiver. Great speed at 6'3", 220 pounds. Anderson looks downfield for Keith and just overshot him. Boy, Keith was in a hand battle. And Anderson, a good touch on the ball, just about a yard in front of Caprice Keith. And it'll be second down and 10. I like that play call on first down to take a shot.
Yeah, you get Caprice Keith, who's ultra talented young player. Maybe just a little bit too far outside. If that ball's thrown to the inside, Keith can keep running and maybe catch up to it, but he had to reach back behind him with the ball thrown over the wrong shoulder.
Anderson carries it to the 27. That's a pickup of 5. Now it's third down. You start thinking about a field goal. This would be a long field goal. About 40-plus yards. Like Huffman already thinking ahead. You would believe, depending on what they call here, it'll give us an indication of what they're going to do, but also the yardage. They'd go for it on fourth down, and Ken Holmes stops the clock. I believe the play clock may have started too soon.
And now a further convening of the minds.
Yeah, I think they're gonna put time on the clock. So they go to the central coaching staff, and they are on the headsets, and they communicate upstairs, and then that is relayed to the game ops. I think they want them on the whistle to start the clock. And
saying the
now
clock should be running.
Now the clock is running right now, but I think they are winding it down to where they want the number. Yep.
It was a run, and then the clock stopped, and it was not a first down. So the clock should have continued to run.
I'm glad we've gotten this out of our system in week 1, and in the system, and all the way to the 5. What a play call by Bellevue West. Simple handoff to Lewis. They were blocking right. The left side was wide open, and Lewis is in the shadow of the goal line.
Yeah, just well blocked up front. Van Arsdale with a knockdown block on the left side. Give him a pancake. Best run of the night for Lewis.
Luring, who's a 3-year starter up front, helped out as well. Now it's first down and goal at the 4-yard line. Anderson runs straight ahead to the 1.
QB keeper, Anderson.
He is stopped by Jerry Jackson Jr., who we have not called his name very much tonight. He was third team All-Metro last year.
Yeah, it's been those defensive ends in Ackerman and Wayne who've done a lot of the good work. But this is a really solid defensive line for Central.
So now second goal at the 1. Anderson all alone in the backfield. Will he run power again? He will, and he is going to be stopped. Winsley was first to get there. Ackerman came over to help out, and now it is third down and goal from the 1.
Well, the way he's been having success running the ball from the quarterback spot tonight, when they got it inside the 2, you just thought, this is academic. He's going to punch it right in, but good on this Central defense for bowing their necks and standing up, making this a tough decision here on third down.
Procedure against the Thunderbirds.
So a penalty
Illegal formation
against Bellevue West, and that will push the T-Birds back to the 6-yard line. So both teams have been plagued in key spots tonight by penalties. It had remained second down. So that was a flag that hardly anyone saw or heard the whistle. Anderson with blockers in front, and he's into the end zone.
You had to know it was coming, right? That's been their most successful running play all night long. It's quarterback power. Spread them out, run it between the tackles with the quarterback. 3 straight times. The third one pays off. And for the first time tonight, Gary Sharp, Bellevue West has the lead.
Herrera to try and make it a touchdown lead. He does. 28-21. Will Anderson with a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Thunderbirds are on top. 28-21 on game time. Will Anderson, his 4th touchdown of the night. He's got 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. In his debut as the starting quarterback under that guy, Mike Huffman.
Yeah, still plenty to clean up for Mr. Anderson. He's had some shots that he's missed, had some opportunities to make some plays that he didn't. But the ones he's made have been for a big payoff. He's got his team leading here in the 4th.
Short kickoff. Livingston comes up to get it on the fly. There is, you know what, John? There's a flag down. Now, while they sort out what seems like the 332nd flag that has been thrown in this game, opening night, what a wild one between Millard West and the debut of Alan Burrell as the head coach of Millard North.
Yeah, we've been following this one on the score, and the report from Buell Stadium is that Millard West had the ball on the 2-yard line with 2 seconds to go, needing a touchdown to take the lead. And Millard North with a goal line stand to get a win for Coach Burrell his first time out.
The penalty on the kickoff is on Omaha Central.
It has been a bugaboo tonight.
Block in the back. Not only have there been a plethora of flags, I think we have checked every type of penalty that could be called in the game of football. I mean, we
don't have an illegal forward pass yet.
We do not. We still have time, but we should have known we were in trouble early in the game when we already had a sideline doing. So Central needs a touchdown. They'll start from the 30-yard line. B.J. Newsom, Will Anderson, they've been good tonight. Battle of the quarterbacks. Hand off to Haney. And Haney gets 5. He just has not been able to get loose like he was back in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's that first step is what was getting him to the line of scrimmage before the defense had a chance to penetrate, and it's just gone. It's gone away a little bit with the cramping issues that he's suffered from tonight. It doesn't look quite the same.
Linebackers for Bellevue West have played pretty well. Cesar Valencia came up to make that tackle. 2nd down and 5. 28-21. Bellevue West has come from down 2 touchdowns back in the second quarter. Newsom to put it up, steps up into the pocket, launches it deep down the field for Pittman, and it'll be incomplete.
Central crowd was wanting a holding call, but that was an uncatchable pass. You're never going to get the penalty on that one.
So both of these programs are pretty active during the summer in the 7-on-7. So there's a lot of familiarity on both sides. There have been a lot of reintroductions, noticing players after plays, talking to each other.
They're just asking where they're going for dinner after the game.
Do high school kids do that?
I don't know. I used to. Maybe that's why I never became a Division I athlete.
Now 3rd down and 5. This is a big snap here for B.J. Newsom. He gives it off to Haney, and no blocking on the left side of the line. Bellevue West defense has shored things up. Central has missed a couple of field goals, but Bellevue West now is going to put Central in a 4th down situation. 4th down and 3.
I'll tell you what, man. That front 7 for Bellevue West in the first half looked like a screen door. They have turned into the Hoover Dam here in the second half.
They've done it, and he's been out because of cramps. Stanley Hayter hasn't played it at all here in the second half. 4th down and 3. Newsom turns, but first a timeout taken by Central.
Didn't like the look.
This is the first of many Friday nights that we spend in your living room or wherever you are watching us tonight. This is our fantastic schedule that we will deliver the best of the best, some of the best atmospheres. Next week, we'll be at Kinnick Stadium for Papillion La Vista South and Omaha North. Pepio South in their rivalry game against Papillion La Vista. That's been a wild game tonight.
Yeah.
It's gone back and forth. North fell yesterday to Omaha West Side, so we get to look at Nebraska recruit Tyson Terry. And then Millard North and Papillion La Vista South. Look at the new Mustangs.
We always love to go to Foundation Field. Great setting for a game.
We will see Central again. They go out to Sarpy County in October to take on Papillion La Vista. We've got Bellevue West and Omaha North late in the year, which will be a huge district game. Here it's a huge 4th down.
Might determine the district title, that one late. 4th
down and 3. The clock is working against Central. They're down a touchdown. Newsom drops back, got rid of it, and it is a 1st down. Boy, what a great move by Livingston. He sidestepped the initial defender and got just enough for the 1st down. It also stops the clock for a moment. But Central has got to sense of urgency here. They do have just 1 timeout remaining, but they will snap this under 2 minutes. They don't appear to be in a hurry.
We talked about Torrey Pittman and Anthony Liggins and Elijah Wayne and Isaac Ackerman. Livingston's been their best wide receiver tonight.
Play action. Newsom turns, fires it downfield, and it is caught for a 1st down by Pittman.
Nice little sit-down route from the big wide receiver. Pass was a little low, had to go down to the shoe tops to pluck it. But a good catch by the young wide receiver.
So they did not stop the clock to move the chains, which you do in high school football. And so again, time ran off. And
hey, it's week 1 for everybody.
They'll have to put some extra time back on the clock. So they're at the 48-yard line. They need a touchdown and an extra point to tie it. They have 1 timeout remaining. Four wide receivers for Newsome. He's got Haney in the backfield with him. Newsome will put it up. Across the middle. It is caught. Grigsby with the catch. That's a pickup of 6. Clock continues to run. Central holding on to that 1 timeout. Now they hurry up to the line of scrimmage, John.
How about Yasir Grigsby, the freshman in crunch time, going to him?
Newsome looks to the sideline. It's everybody on the same page. He's got time. Now he looks to run. He's got a first down to the 35. The clock will stop with 59 seconds remaining. Once they place it down, Ken Holmes starts the clock again. Central just 1 timeout. They're at the 35. They need a score.
Need a chunk play.
Is this where it comes from? Newsome looking like that. Throws it out of the backfield to Haney. Haney is stopped and he breaks free. There's going to be a penalty for a face mask as Haney gets it down to the 28. He got out of bounds. That stops the clock, and they will add possibly could be 15 yards on the face mask. Here's Miller.
I didn't see a face mask. It was a hand on top of the helmet.
So the penalty is on Bellevue West. We are thinking it's for face mask. And
yeah,
it is for face mask. Oh, they call. No, Ken Holm, I believe, pointed the wrong direction. He pointed towards Central. This should be on Bellevue West, but Kent Holm just made a mistake. He just pointed the wrong way.
Error.
He corrects it.
But Gary, it wasn't a face mask from our vantage point on the replay.
So, as a young quarterback that will make his first college start in Lincoln tomorrow, named Dylan Raiola, told Nebraska fans, buckle up. I follow suit. 28-21. Now the ball's at the 14-yard line. Newsome pump fake, looking to the end zone, scrambling, throws it out of the backfield, and Haney couldn't handle the rising pass. Stops the clock. Now 2nd down. 31 seconds to go.
I would love to see one of those big tight ends on a seam route right here. Get him down the middle of the field. Throw a pass high in the air. Let one of those tall tight ends. You've got 6'3" Elijah Wayne, 6'4" Isaac Ackerman. Get one of those guys in the middle of the end zone and let him jump for it. You've got Wayne here at the bottom of your screen. It may be a fade route to this near corner.
Snap to Newsome. Waiting, firing to Pittman, and it is a touchdown!
Just a tremendous route combination. Great call by the offensive staff here for Omaha Central. Get Pittman underneath after the other 2 receivers go down the field to the left. Pittman comes back across the middle of the field, makes the catch, stretches it over the goal line, and now an all-important extra point upcoming with 22 seconds to play.
So Schrader, who had missed 2 field goals here in the second half, getting ready for the extra point, but Central will take their final timeout. They wouldn't think about going for 2 here, would they, John?
Oh, that would be a huge gamble. But we have seen Terrence Mackey roll the dice a couple of times already tonight. Going for it on 4th down, the big fake punt, you remember?
And they're going to go for it. I believe they are going for 2. Schrader is not out there. Omaha Central is going for 2.
Win or lose right here.
Bellevue West will take a timeout.
The home crowd is on fire right now.
And your play to win it would be?
You've got to get the ball in the hands of Kylon Haney, right? Does he have one more carry left in those legs tonight? I would not put it past them to put Newsome on the edge, roll the pocket to one side or the other, give him a run-pass option, though. He's shown the ability to cause damage with his legs tonight as well.
So after the Newsome to Pittman 14-yard touchdown pass, Central is going for 2. Instead of Schrader to try and tie it, they will try and take the lead. 22 seconds to go. Haney in the backfield. Newsome under center.
Double tight set for Central.
Wayne to the top. Ackerman to the bottom. Pittman one-on-one coverage, bottom of your screen. Low snap. Newsome turns. He's under pressure. He's got Haney open. And Newsome throws it. And it's picked off. It is picked off. And the attempt is denied. The pass picked off. By Dodwa, and Central is denied.
The pressure was almost instant. They wanted to roll him to the near side. But that Bellevue West defense was in the backfield in a hurry. And Pono Dudoit makes the huge interception on the 2-point attempt. And it looks like it'll preserve the victory for Bellevue West. What a turn of events at the end of this game.
This stadium has gone silent. Bellevue West dialed up the pressure on the 2-point pass.
I had a feeling that they might do that. Put Newsome on the edge with the run pass option, but it was just not there. The rush from Macklin Kennedy caused Newsome to have to reverse field, and he was in the grass before he could get the ball away. What a play by that defense. Wow.
So Central now will attempt an onside kick. Down 28-27, 22 seconds remaining.
And I hate to bring it up, but how big are those 2 missed field goals now?
Well, and it probably also factored into going for 2. They had Schrader out on the field. And then they called timeout and they decided to go for 2. They had the play they wanted, but it was diagnosed by Bellevue West. And now Schrader will attempt an onside kick, and Bellevue West will take a timeout. So I think they wanted to see if Central was going to do anything different with their alignment, and they didn't have, like, you know, odd number of guys on each side of the ball. And the hands team were out there for Bellevue West.
Yeah, with the modern kickoff rules, the high bounce, the way it used to be, just it really isn't a thing that you can really get done anymore. You can't get down the field fast enough because you have to start. You don't get that running start. The best option you have on the onside kick these days is to just hit one low and hard at somebody's feet and hope that it comes back and your guys can get down there and win the scramble on the turf. That's the best bet.
These are the moments when you get into camp, you get a chance to spend some time on special teams. You work on these things. So here we go. Schrader has it set up for the onside kick. 22 seconds to go. The senior approaches it, and a flag comes out. Central left early. So offside is the call on Central. Mark that down, John. We had a penalty on a kickoff now.
It's just about all of them. And it's Pittman who's ahead of the ball.
So now they're going to change who's going to kick off. So Ackerman, the punter, will actually attempt the onside kick. Do you think this was a decoy?
A ruse?
Yes, because now they have a different formation. And Ackerman with the onside kick, and it is recovered by Bellevue West. And Bellevue West is going to win the football game. As recovering it was Smith, and there is another flag down. And this is on Central, and it'll be declined by Bellevue West. And all they will have to do is run out the clock, and Bellevue West is going to win after being down by 2 scores.
Great job on the hands team for Kaylee Smith. Got down, covered it up. Didn't allow anyone to steal it in the pile. Now just a kneel out for Bellevue West. Will Anderson going to win his first start as the T-Bird quarterback. He did some work with his legs in the second half.
2 touchdown passes, 2 runs for scores. Both quarterbacks performed well tonight, but it was Bellevue West defense after falling behind 21-7. They will allow the T-Birds to get back into the game. Some penalties really impacted this on Central side. Anderson takes a knee, and that will do it. As Bellevue West begins the year with a victory, 28-27 over Omaha Central.
I think what we learned tonight, Gary, is that Omaha Central is going to have something to say about how things go in Metro football this season. They did not come out with the victory tonight, but boy, did they give Bellevue West everything they wanted. And all credit to the T-Birds, who looked like they were in for a dogfight. That defense was on its heels all night long. They come out with the win in the end.
More on this one after this on Game Time. Game Time on Your View is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. 1 point in this game. Omaha Central got off to a great start. They were up 21-7. It seemed like whatever Newsom or Haney could do, they were able to do. And then a key moment near the end of the first half where a play got extended and it turned into some pushing and shoving and more players got together. And the result was 45 yards of penalties on one play against Central, put Bellevue West in a situation to get to the 3-yard line after everything was assessed. Next play, they score, made it 21-14. It seemed like Central never recovered, John.
No, the momentum just totally shifted on that very play. And after that, Omaha Central did not score until there were 22 seconds left on the clock.
Let's take a look at tonight's play of the game. It's brought to you by NFM. NFM, everything you need to watch fall sports, plus game-winning savings at NFM.
Well, this is the 2-point conversion after that touchdown that I just mentioned. Pono Dudoit comes up with the interception to deny Central the 2-point conversion and preserve a 1-point lead in the victory for Bellevue West. That was what decided this game in the end.
We will tell you a moment in this game and a stat that'll going to keep Terrence Mackey up late tonight on penalties. Again, the final score, Bellevue West 28, Omaha Central 27. We're back with some final thoughts from Central after this on Game Time. Omaha Central comes up short in the last minute on a 2-point conversion after trailing 28-27 through an interception, and Bellevue West wins the opener. Big story tonight, penalties. Penalties and cramping.
Absolutely.
Penalties, I have a number 4. Cramping, I just stopped keeping count. Penalties tonight, Omaha Central 21 for 204 yards, Bellevue West 5 for 50. That's the opening night of the season. We head to Papio South and Omaha North. That'll be a very intriguing matchup. Next Friday night at Kinnick Stadium, we'll get to see Tyson Terry, the state champion heavyweight wrestler in Class A. But for most people around here, most importantly, defensive line commit for Nebraska. We're looking forward to that game next week. The Titans and the Vikings. That'll be week number 2 of Game Time here on Your View. Final thoughts, John?
Yeah, this was an interesting game, and Omaha Central did a lot of good things early, but as you said, the penalties were just too many, too often, and that really prevented them from having a lot of success in the second half. Good performance for Bellevue West.
For the entire crew, our producer, director, Brad Pace, for my partner, John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. Again, the final score, Bellevue West 28, Omaha Central 27. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you from North and Papio South next week. Good night, everybody.